Yo, what up, Grabby's 5D here. We're starting the new week in Rage Shadow Legends with a fusion for this Brewguard Jeroboam. Starting this today, 30th of September, we have the fusion calendar and all the activities and events you will have to complete if you want to pick up this champion, this legendary champion, defensive-based Ogre Trials faction champion. And that's it right here. You will have to get 100 fragments to get this champion, but you can skip 10. Why do I say 10? What about the 20? The 20 is tied to two events that are not possible for ordinary players to win. So I would say don't try to win the extra fragments from champion training. Don't try to win the extra fragments from champion chase. So you can skip 10 fragments for this entire thing, and you have to get 100 fragments of this champion in order to obtain him. Yeah. And this fusion is running all the way from today, 30th of October, all the way to 14th of October. It's a long time. And the first event we are starting with is going to be this Dragon tournament. It doesn't start officially today for me, like we already know by now. When a Dragon tournament starts without its accompanying Dungeon Divers, you don't start it that day, right? You have to wait until the day Dungeon Divers starts, which is going to be tomorrow, October the 1st. That's when I want to start my Dragon officially. So what we will be doing today in game is by doing some champion training in the campaign, but some champion training in the tavern, right? That's what I'll be spending my brews to get some champions to their levels increased and all that, and get some champion training done today. That's the only thing that I'll be doing today. If you have any energy that is about to expire, of course you can spend it in the Dragon. You don't have to just let it sit there because you don't want to do Dungeon Divers, right? As usual, Dungeon Divers in Raid now cuts across 2 tournament events. So this Dragon will end on the 3rd of October, but then a Fire Night kicks up right immediately after that Dragon ends, and that Fire Night is what I will use to complete this Dungeon Divers 1. That's the first plan. This is pretty standard, and this is what we've been doing all the other times in other events. But there's something strange about this one. You have Dungeon Divers 1, you have Dungeon Divers 2, which is standard. You're expecting Dungeon Divers 3, right? Not found. Did Raid learn a lesson and stop doing 3 Dungeon Divers events, or they hid it somewhere secret? Yes, they did. I feel like this Dungeon Divers 3 that is missing from this plan will be hidden inside this hero's part. So I'm gonna put that in red. You have to be very suspicious about this hero's part that doesn't tell you what it is, right? This hero's part doesn't tell you what is hidden in there. So I feel like Dungeon Divers 3, it's hidden in that hero's part. Now another thing that is kind of hidden in this event calendar from us, is not in plain sight, is the fact that we currently have one summoning event clearly shown on the calendar, and that's going to be this champion chase. I'll put it in red because it's one that most players might not have resources for. If you're new to Raid, a fusion is doable with energy and gems, but if you don't have the shards required to do 2 summoning events, you can't do fusions like this, right? So a champion chase is the first one that you have to watch out for. You're asking, what about the summon rush? There is no summon rush in this event calendar. Also, that is another thing that is hidden, and I feel like it will also be hidden inside this hero's part. So I feel like those are the 2 things that are missing from this fusion calendar. We've done enough fusions in the past to know that it normally contains 3 Dungeon Divers and 2 summoning events. So I feel like those 2 things that are missing from the calendar will be hidden in that hero's part. I don't want to speculate to say maybe that hero's part will be the one that people have been expecting to give them that Freya. I don't want to speculate because it doesn't say anything like that. I also checked the play in game and see that 11th of October being a Friday, we can see that clearly there is a hero's part coming, but it doesn't say what rewards it will be. I don't see an avatar for a champion, so I cannot make that guess or begin to speculate like that. But it feels very suspicious. It might just be another hero's part that just gives you the fragment that you need. So strategy is to go for the champion chase because it falls within a 2x event, or to skip the champion chase entirely. If you skip the champion chase entirely, you will not be able to complete this fusion. That's just the truth, because you will be skipping out on 15 entire fragments. So, but if they break out the fragments for 5 and 10 within this champion chase, then you can pick up the 5 fragments from champion chase and skip the 10. Why am I saying skip the 10? Because this summon rush might be what you need to pick up your Freya, and you'll be going all the way extreme. I just said I didn't want to speculate, but here I go again speculating. But I don't always bank on the event at the end of a fusion. I always do everything I can, and I don't like to miss anything in the middle with high hopes of going for something in the end. I don't like to play the game that way. I feel like what is hidden right here might be worse than what I already know. And besides, this champion chase will be tied to a 2x event. It's not very clear yet whether it will be 2x sacred or 2x ancient, right? But it definitely will be tied to 2x event. And champion chase are quite easy to complete if you have old fragments saved up right here. If you have any old fragments, you can easily complete champion chase by summoning some right here, or just using your 2x events to complete it. I like 2x events, so that's why I usually don't skip on champion chase events. So that's my calendar right here. It's looking straightforward. The Fire Knight will end as it's going down. It will also have an opportunity to use the spider to complete this dungeon divers. Oh, not in red, that will be in yellow because it's a standard event. Let's rule that out. Spider is standard. I might also continue farming the Fire Knight on the last day with these dungeon divers and use those two to complete dungeon divers 2. And since spider is starting, Ice Golem is starting and no dungeon divers, spider is ending without a dungeon divers. That's pretty weird, because normally you want to use the spider to complete the last dungeon divers, so it's pretty suspicious. There is a standard artifact enhancement 1, artifact enhancement 2, artifact enhancement 3 that will cost you a standard 20 to 30 million if you're taking gear to 16, or less if you're taking gear to 4 and 8 and doing a gear cleanse with all that inbox overflowing. That's standard. We have the standard champion training 1 and 2 like we already saw. The first one is looking like it's going to be a longer champion training, and the second one looks like it is a shorter champion training. But the question is, why is this one shorter and why is this one longer, and they both have 10 fragments? That's the same thing I'm asking myself, why the dungeon divers looks like it only has 5 fragments and it's gonna be a little bit short. All right, classic arena takedown 1, classic arena takedown 2. Where is the first one? Here we go. Classic arena takedown 2. Nobody in raid has a problem with classic arena. I don't think it's the easiest thing to do in fusions or fragment events, and I hope they keep it that way. They've revamped a lot of other things, but classic arena 1 and 2 has remained the same. I mean, it has changed in recent time. Classic arena used to have 5 extra fragments and I used to snipe it every time, but now it no longer has the fragments. Now the fragments have been put into events or tournaments that only spenders can win, and that is this champion training tournament that has 10 fragments, and this champion chase tournament that has 10 extra fragments. So in red I will put the 10 extra fragments because I never use that as a yardstick of going for a fusion. You see the 20 extra fragments right here? I'm going to block it out. I don't want to see it. So that's not something anybody who goes for a fusion should try to aim for. So in total, you actually have 110 fragments that you should be trying to pick up. Well, that marker is too thick, but you get my point. 110. So it's actually 110, not 130 right here. 110 fragments. That's what I'll try to aim for. Now, which 10 fragments will I skip? I don't know. If you hate Dungeon Divers 2 so much, you can boldly skip on 5 fragments from there without messing up your fusion. If you hate Ice Golem, like you can see the Ice Golem coming up, right? You don't like it, you can just skip the Ice Golem right there, that has 5 fragments. So this fragment fusion does have a little bit of flexibility built into it, but it doesn't have flexibility in terms of shards because they didn't do 10 fragments for that champion chase. They did 15, which means they don't want you to skip it. Let's find out if they'll do 5 and 10 or 15 as a bulk in one champion chase. That will decide whether most people want to skip the 10 or go for the entire 15. All right. There's some other news that dropped in the Raid Content Creator chat that I should share with you while we're talking about this fusion calendar. It's regarding this upcoming Tuesday, October the 1st. You can see that the fusion calendar started without any summoning events. It was weird too. I would look like I was like, where is the summoning events? There are normally 2, champion chase and summon rush, but we don't have any summoning events until Friday. And you know Raid will not allow the portal to be just looking boring without glowing, right? So they're going to make the portal glow tomorrow, being Tuesday, and it will glow not because there is a fusion, it will glow because there is a 15x boosted chance of getting some specific champions. This fusion, this summoning event does not have anything to do with fusion. It will not give you fragments towards this fusion. So if you see the champion chase coming up, is it a champion chase or a summon rush? Let me find out what is coming up. Because if it's a Tuesday and there is a summoning event coming up, we expect them to tie it with a summon rush or a champion chase, right? As usual. A Sun Devil turn attack. So it's just going to be a summoning event without any reason to summon. It's pretty weird. Let me go first of Tuesday. Champion training, Dragon, Sun Devil turn attack, Dungeon Divers, October 1st. There is no summon rush or champion chase. Anyways, I don't know, maybe it's not loaded up for me yet, but normally when they announce this 25x boosted chance event and the portal will glow tomorrow, there should be a reason for players to summon their shards, not just because of the champion on the list or the 15x event, but because there is a summon rush or a champion chase attached to it. So if you're pulling your shard tomorrow Tuesday, there is no CVC going on along with that. You're only pulling your shards for a 15x boosted chance that can go up to a 20x or a 25x of getting this specific champion. I'll pop on the screen right now. Sun Wukong, Harima, Bamboo's 4-leaf, and Tatsu can be obtained from Ancient Shard, Primal Shard, and Sacred Shards if you're a crazy person to pull your shards at this particular moment, or you're one of those spenders who are looking for Harima so bad, you need them so bad. This is your opportunity to pull like 4 legendaries without getting Harima and get her on your 5th legendary, because that's how 15x chances work if you're unlucky. All right, Tatsu and Shuzen, Yumeko are from those two. Shuzen and Yumeko are also void shards. So players who need a Yumeko, your void shards is waiting for you to pull tomorrow. This event will last for 48 hours. This 15x boosted chance of getting this specific champion. So that will be the reason the portal glows. I don't see any summon rush or any other thing attached to it. That's the information we have. There's some other information that is going around right now regarding a possible nerf coming around to a champion which everybody has been using to unlock their first Ultra Nightmare team in the Hydra or in the Demon Lord, and his name is Wixwell. So people have been saying that there's a possible nerf. They saw some game code that he might be nerfed. Well, I looked at that information while I was live on stream yesterday, and I said that there is no way they're gonna let that happen, that people will revolt and people will leave the game, and so it's just gonna create a negative feeling, because before he came around to help people in the Hydra, there was Thunder. So a lot of people who already have Thunder as saying don't touch Thunder. So people who have Wixwell and using him right now say don't touch Wixwell. So we are using these champions to help us make content easier. I don't have a Wixwell Yannicka team. I've not had the time and opportunity or the brain power to sit and build such a team, but I might do it anytime soon. So hopefully they don't nerf him anytime soon. It's not, I don't advocate for it, even if it's not a team I use. I don't have a Thunder, so I don't even advocate for her to be nerfed. However, they're going to balance the game to make everything work fine. That's their business. They shouldn't nerf a player or champions they've already given to us. That's where I see it. So if there's a way you go fix shield in the Hydra, so it's better you change the Hydra around than to touch these champions. You know they've nerfed the Hydra before. You know they've nerfed the clan boss before, the Demon Lord clan boss. So they normally touch bosses. They do things to bosses. Recently they did some changes to Sun Devil Necropolis and Shogun Grove, right? So it's fine for you to change bosses and players will not leave the game and revolt and all that. But if you change particular champions that players love so much, that's when you see the other side of the community and the negative feedback comes around. So I feel like that's an easy change they can do to the Hydra bosses themselves, but not to the champions. So Playroom has confirmed, or Raid has confirmed, that all that is speculation. They don't intend to do it anytime soon. So I don't know if it's ever going to happen in the future or it's something they are talking about. It's just they've not told us that it's going to happen. People just saw data mine code and they talked about it, but it's not something that it's confirmed. So if it's confirmed, of course, I'll tell you that it's coming or it's happening, because they've told us news that is coming. They always tell us the news before it comes around. And one news that is coming soon is this change to your avatars. Avatar frames is coming. So you just select an avatar, like you can currently see it in game right now. You have only the option to change an avatar from this list, right? You have a new tab right here that now looks like this, called avatar frames, in the upcoming update 9.30, and you can select different avatars. You can pick up these avatars, they say, from events and tournaments, or from milestones, things you've already done in the game that can be retroactive. So from events, tournaments, and Sunk Cost City rewards, Hydra battle rewards. If you're already beating that content, you just get the avatar. But if it's a new thing that is, let's say, Cost City rewards, or content like the new arena mode, you have to wait until you get it to get this advanced what you call them now, avatar frames. It's new, it's a cool feature. It's not going to be game changing or anything. It's just to show off and make your design in game, your profile, look a little bit unique and special, right? So they do let us know about those type of information that are coming in, just like this one about these champions that are going to be rebalanced, War Chief and Google. So nobody is talking bad about this one, because it's something that they tell us ahead of time before it's happening, and it's usually for good. And yeah, they did do a slight nerf to the champions, passive and all that. People talk about it. It's not that impactful, right? But Wixwell, Tronda's nerf or the rebalance will be impactful, and it's not something that will do hidden in the back. And yeah, I think it's something that will have to do. There was one rare champion that was working before and doing big shield like that too. They also announced that when they do those type of changes, and people talked about the rare champion that can no longer work with the Krisk team, right? Doing big shield just like Wixwell was doing. They do tell us before they do all those changes. They won't do it secretly and just nobody will notice. Everybody will notice it because a lot of people are using those teams. I will go ahead and build my Wixwell team, and yeah, everybody who got mad over the weekend over that news, it's not an official news from Plarium. They've not told us this is happening, and they don't have any plans, according to what I see, that it's going to happen anytime soon. So you can chill, enjoy your Wixwell team. If any changes will be done, it will most likely be to the Hydra themselves. I feel like if any change they want to do, it will be to the Hydra themselves, not to the existing champions you will have that are currently knocking down the Hydra and doing billions of damage. I don't have even a 1 billion team, and I hope to build one soon. So all this news on all this drama, it didn't really affect me much over the weekend, but I know a lot of players use those teams and make their Hydra clash points high. So it's something that definitely should not happen. So just to clear the air about what I feel about it. All right, that's my Fusion calendar right here. That's the news that is coming up tomorrow for the summoning event, 15x boosted chances, up to 25x boosted chances. That's the Fusion event. Let me know in the comments if you're still going for this Fusion for the month of October, or you're still on the fence about it. Have you seen other content creators build champions, build that champion and show him off in content? Or do you think he's still missing because you simply don't have the time, the energy, and the resources required to chase after Jeroboam Brewguard? Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid content. Remember, the month of October, I will be going live more on YouTube. I'm switching my live platform from Twitch over to YouTube. For today, I'll be over there on Twitch doing some other things, playing raid, doing my champion training, and prepping more for the Fusion that officially starts tomorrow, for me at least. See you guys in the next one. Later, guys.